Whoa, what's that? That's the wrong picture. Hello, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Coffee Run with John from ProCraps here on Casino Gaming TV. We got, it's going to be kind of a rocky show today. I'm going to warn you now. I did a bunch of changes. I'm still moving stuff around. I did a bunch of changes over the weekend to the screens. You'll see there's like a new kind of look to it. I don't think I finished everything. I think I got some stuff that I haven't quite finished yet. So I may be bopping around a little bit with my mouse trying to fix stuff as we go. But hopefully you like the way it looks. And here we go. Let's get the, I'm going to move the comments so I can see your comments. And all right, let's get after here. We're going to start off like we always do with our YOLO. And then I'll get to some comments, some chats, and whatever else we got going on. So here we go. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Randy. Good morning, Skill. Skill already with the instructions. Don't forget to blah, 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 right? I will take care of it. I know. 7 avoidance is not the same thing as hiding combinations. I understand. I will run a simulation at some point. I just haven't had time. I got too much going on. The work at Casino Quest is all encompassing right now. It's literally, I'm doing 13, 14-hour days right now, getting things ready for them. So I've got no time really to do most. That's why my shows aren't even finished up yet. So it's a lot. So I will get to everything, I promise. But before we do that, let's YOLO. Let's go to YOLO. And where are we at right now? Anyway, the YOLO has, let's see, we are not there. Oh, there we go. We're 6-0. We start with 64 bucks, and we're at 329 right now. So let me go ahead and change my screen. We're going to throw from the left. I'll show you my bets here first. So what we should have, I don't think you can see the rack for some reason. You can't see the rack. Why is the rack not there? I'll figure it out. Anyway, here's the money. There's all the dough that we've earned so far. I'm going to actually switch to this view here so you don't look at my stupid head. Let's see. Can I see that better? There we go. All right, let's get out here and let's put the bets out. I've got enough money now, I think, to go 320 across plus some extra. So let's see how this works out. We're going to go, I think I can go with 320. I think I can go 2 greens here, 2 greens there, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and 2 there. Look at that. 320 across, baby. And I've got $9 left over. $9. And what we'll do with the $9 is, I don't know. We'll do like a, let's see. We'll do an $8 horn and a $1 we'll put on the ace deuce. Okay, $8 horn, and we'll put the extra buck on the ace deuce. I'll leave it like that so you can kind of see it. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and throw now from stick right or stick left. Yeah, stick left. I got to get these windows correct so you can see actually what I'm doing here. But there's the stick left view. I think stick left throw. There we go. Actually, this might be the view you want to see. Let's see this here. Is that right? No. Good Lord, where? I gotta fix some stuff. Anyway, I'll get to it. I will get to it. Like I said, a lot of stuff going on. Here we go. We're gonna do one throw. One throw for all the marble. I'm all in. I'm all in. And hopefully you can see the dice land on the left side there. I should be bright enough to hopefully see that. And here we go. Let's see here. We're gonna set the 6-5 there and the 2-1 here. And it's one shot, man. One shot. That's why it's called a YOLO. Wish me luck. Whatever happens, happens, right? That was not a bad looking toss, and it is a 9. Can you see the dice down there? It's a 5 and a 4. I'm going to drag them up. I don't know if this thing is in view. There's a 5 and a 4. Beauteous. That's a $70 win. So let me go over there and pay that, which is great because now the pressing gets interesting. Now they're making meaningful money. This $70 becomes very interesting. We can actually add it and make the 6 and 8 go to 90. I can really put $20 on every number. We can do an inside press of a $66 inside press. Basically, I have lots of choices here for tomorrow morning. So I'm going to take this money back to the rack, and now we're at 1, 2, 350, 375, 390. 390 from $64. We're 7-0, and that's a good way to get started. Good way to start the week. I would have hated to have started today with a burn, right? That would have been awful. So luckily we dodged disaster. Let me bring all the important stuff back over here, and I'll put myself back on screen. We'll talk in a minute. Let's go. Yeah. Let's see. We're gonna go to. I gotta get the little computer thing set up so it works right for me. Come on, go back to where you're supposed to go. No? How about that? Does that work? That works. There we go. Hi, I'm back. Good morning. We'll get this figured out. As you all know, I mean, I like to peel back the layers of the onion as we go here sometimes, right? So I've got, a new set of screens to run the show with, and I've got my little button pusher app that changes them for me, but it looks like not every screen that you're seeing is connected to a button, so I'm having to do stuff manually. I knew it was going to be a mess, but anyway, let's go. Details for CFTC's coming up. Yes, let's see. Color of Saturday's looking forward to it. Yeah, I did see that yesterday, actually. I was on the show, and I actually wrote him a note last night. I'm gonna ask the group actually today. Pardon me. I was gonna ask the group today if they would like to meet tonight or tomorrow night. I have the house to myself for the next couple of days, so I was gonna see if they can do it tonight or tomorrow, and we'll get some details going on that because we already have the date, we have the venue, we have everything we need. Now it's about down to getting who's going to speak, what will the speeches be, what will the events be, who's going to be in charge of what. So the dates are locked in, the hotel is locked in. I'm going to have Chris over at Palace block off 40 rooms set for us, so we have rooms for us. They'll be discounted, but they won't be free. So Leon, you're already in. When I get that group together, you'll be a part of that for sure. Okay, let's move on. A couple things here. I think I'm going to do that was the YOLO already. We did that. This is what I got to get this part smooth here. All right. So the getting started, a couple of things to kind of get through here. One is Brian and Jeremy last night had Brian from Holy Roller and Jeremy did the podcast last night. I'm not sure what happened. I think Jim's on a cruise actually. So they talked about cruising last night. And it always comes up, this topic of cruising always brings out the same conversations, right? And I want to give you my thoughts on it. Now, my thoughts are going to be a little bit less educated on some points, right? I've not been on other cruises besides Royal, so I can't speak to the quality of food or service on the other ones, right? When you pick a cruise ship to go on, that's a big consideration. Like, you're spending a lot of money, whether you get a free cruise or not. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Whether you've earned a free cruise, whether you paid for the actual cruise or not, you're going to gamble to earn points to get the next one. That's the whole point, right? So you are spending money. Potentially, you can get your ass kicked on the table and lose enough money to win a free cruise, right? So you're spending money to earn the comps that get you the free cruise. So you are spending your cash on it. Now, when you're putting money up there, turn the volume up. Can you not hear me? Oh, you know what? Let me do that. Yeah, I'll turn the volume up. Let's go here. I think I lowered the volume last time because the other mic is so strong. How's that? Is that a little better? Test, test, test. All right, that should be better. Anyway, you're spending your money to earn the cruise, right? So what I want to make sure is that you're picking the cruise that has the right experience for you, right? Now, Jen. Oh, what happened there? Not that. Jen has said. She's very interested in the food, right? Jen said, hey, Carnival's got better food. I've heard Princess has better food. I think, better room, whatever. That all matters. So if you've cruised on multiple lines before, right? Pick the ones that A, match the dates you want to go on. B, have the kind of food you like to eat. C, have the kind of rooms you want to be in. I think that they're your first target, right? I am trying to find the cruises that I like the best. I'm still in that discovery phase. So I don't know which one I like best yet. I know I had a great experience on Royal. That's all I can really speak to. So I'm targeting that. And I understand how their comps work. So you guys have to understand when you pick a cruise, how that cruise ship's or that cruise line's comp system works. That's a big part of it. Brian is locked in on Royal because he knows how their comp system works, right? From what I've heard, Carnival's not very open with it, but they're more generous. So whatever, that doesn't really matter. I mean, like I said, it matters your experience on the ship and how easy you can earn it. The controversy though comes into this. Let's see, specialty dining is really good on Royal. I tell you what, I enjoyed my food. I mean, I had the buffet was great. The food, I thought the food in Royal was better than I get around here in a restaurant, right? So it was all good for that. I will let you know, Dan. I'm going to play the Horseman on the next. I'm going on a cruise in July, and with my mom. My mom's coming up from Florida, and we're going to go on a July 4th Alaska to Canada, Alaska to Vancouver, Canada cruise, 7-dayer. I'm going to play the Horseman almost the whole time. My plan is to play the Horseman I tell you, every time I play that damn thing, I mean, it's boring as hell, but fuck, that thing wins, right? And I know for a fact that they don't look at it as contra betting, right? So if I go $100 on the don't and 25, 25, 25 on the come bets, or 50, 50, 50 on the come bets, I'll be able to tread water all day long, right? And even and that to me, that's that's what, 175 total, or it's 250 total as my average bet. I can tread water with that thing all day and all night. I'll have a couple of bad runs, but I'll pick it back up again. I can do that forever. That should be a good, like I said, 175 to 250 average bet for at least the day. And the first night of the cruise, the first day I can gamble, I'm going to do that the entire time, and I'll check my points, and I'll report back. Here, I did this. Here's the points I got, and we'll know right away. At that level, you should earn enough points for the cruise in 1 or 2 nights, which means the rest of the time we look at what Jen says, which is play to win, don't play for the free cruise, right? To me, the horseman is basically you're guaranteeing yourself a tie. And some people, math people, will say, why are you playing that to play? You're taking up a spot. In this case, the average bet size goes up enough that you're going to earn, and the horseman does win. It's not like it doesn't win, right? We win all the time with that thing. I'm not going to hit a home run with it, but we're going to be consistent with it. The comp value is enough. You should be fine. At a low bankroll, at $1,000 buy-in, you should be easily earning that cruise in a couple days. Then you can decide, right? If I've won money with the horseman, I'll take the winnings, and I'll do some squeeze, or not some squeeze, but I'll do some duck and cover, or I'll do some GM spin, or whatever it's going to be. Play to win after that, right? There's this idea, the controversy is, do you play to win or do you play for the comps, right? To me, the horseman is a way to do both. The horseman earns great comps. It lets you stay in the game, and most of the time you'll eke out some wins. To me, that's a great way to do it. When you got to last 7 days, you got to find a way to play that's going to last you 7 days. You can't just go out there and blast 64 across or 96 across or 110 inside for 7 straight days. You'll get your ass kicked. You're going to lose all your money. So find a way that has potential, that also earns the comps, that you can also last. And so to me, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like the horseman might be the best way to do it. I'm going to try it out this time. I'm going to see how long it takes me at that black chip level to get there. That's the point, right? And yeah, it does. This matters big time, right? Because they were talking last night about how they track, right? The little coin that tracks the things, right? Tracking the rolls per hour. You get about a point per dollar. So 175 is 175 per hour, right? If you're playing 6-7 hours, right? A couple of days, you should almost be there. We should almost be there. The last time I was playing, what did I do last time? I did a lot of 44 in, I did a lot of 66 in, and it took me 3 days to earn it. So day 3, day 4, I got the certificate. I think the horseman will get it to me a lot faster. So that's it. Dan says an interior room is preferable. You know what? I had a room last time that was a balcony, but it overlooked not the water, but the people. I loved it, right? We're going to do an interior this time. Me and Kat. No, we have a porthole this time. Whatever. I think the controversy is this, right? Do you play for comps? Do you play to win? I think if your play style and your bankroll, if they match, we talk about the matching of bankroll and goal and all that stuff all the time. If they're matched up, you should be able to survive 7 days. You're going to get your free cruise, right? If you can survive for 7 days with the way you're playing, you're going to earn the cruise. It doesn't matter. If that way is 44 inside for 150 shooters, if you have enough money to do that, you're going to earn the cruise. You might catch a hot roll and make a whole bunch of money, right? If your way is going to be the $100 horseman like I'm doing, I'm going to survive 7 days and probably going to earn a free cruise. That way, to me, is a good bankroll builder. So I'll use the horseman to build bankroll to play more aggressive stuff later in the cruise. That's how I'm looking at it, right? And I firmly believe that if you don't just get myopically focused on the free cruise and just play your game, and again, in a way that you can survive the 7 days, you'll earn the cruise. And Jen's right. After the cruise, I got so many, I'm still getting them, right? I played 7 straight days on that cruise, 2-3 sessions a day for 7 days. They know that even though I'm not a huge player, I'm a player. And I'm getting every day a postcard in the mail with free cruise offers. I get them all the time. So I earned one on the cruise, the one that you earn. The ones I get in the mail are the same. I get them all the time. So just be a player, right? And enjoy your time. Play the way you want to play. Don't focus just on that, because that will come. I guarantee you it'll come if you're playing consistently. That's the whole thing. So, all right, John Crossan says, I want to cruise now with a mini suite and 2,500 free play. That's pretty sweet. I think what I've heard is Princess and Carnival are a little more generous with the free play. Let's see, would I be scared? Yes, I would be scared because I don't have that kind of money in the bank, right? That what you're saying right there, you need 5K for that. That's a 5K bankroll. If I had 5K, I would be fine doing that because that's the right ratio, right? Buying in for $1,000, 103/4 is the right way to do it, right? But if I had the 5K, let's say between now and July, which is not going to happen. Let's say between now and July, something happened in my life and I, quickly got to 10K that I could, light on fire on the cruise. I would absolutely play it at that level. I would go 200, 100, and then move into 500s for sure. No question. But you got to have the bankroll, right? So I said you got to have the bankroll to do it. That's important. So Jen says, of course, skill. One shooter to be done, right? But Jen also says, play to win because the free cruise will come if you're playing every day. If you're playing a couple sessions a day, your regular way, those points will add up. Even low roller Johnny on the last cruise at 66 inside most of the time earned a free cruise, right? You don't have to be so myopic about got to get the free one because what happens is you'll end up doing things you wouldn't normally do and putting too much bankroll at risk. So be careful about that. That's the whole thing. All right, let's see. Danny says, if I had 5K, you fly to Alaska and rent a car. You should come anyway. Come on up to Alaska. It's going to be great. This cruise we're going on is we're flying up to Anchorage, and it's a 7-day cruise straight down. So it's super slow. Like there's one cruise from Seattle to Alaska and back. So it's 7 days up and back. So it's pretty quick. This one is 7 days down, very slow. So there's going to be stops at the glaciers. There's like a couple of, I think there's 2 separate 8-hour excursions we can do. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait for it. What else is being said here? This is great. I couldn't agree with John more. We agree all the time, Jen. Come on now. We do agree quite a bit. Anyway, you'll never get me on a boat. Yeah, and Jen also reminded me, you cannot call it a boat, apparently. I guess people get really squirrely about that. It's a ship. I make the mistake all the time of calling it a boat. I grew up in Jersey, obviously, and we went on fishing boats all the time. So when I'm on the water, I'm on a boat, and it's hard to get the word out of my head there. We saw 2 guys. Remember that, Jen? We saw one guy wipe out 2K on the Light in the Dark District. This got hammered because he was so focused on it. This other guy, this other don't player, he burned what, Jen, $4,000 or $5,000 that one night. I mean, chasing the don't. He was martingaling his don't and just got destroyed. Right? Be careful with that stuff. Again, 7 days is a long time. 7 days is a long time, and there's sometimes you gotta be okay with not playing if it's going your way. Right? All right, let's move ahead. Actually, I'm still talking about important stuff. We have some good math talk today, actually, but. If you watched on ProCraps on Friday night, I had Gargoyle on. Gargoyle called me at I was actually making these purple looking screens here. And Gargoyle called me on, he said, hey, you want to do a live real quick? I want to practice. I'm like, oh, sure, okay, let me just fix something real quick. So I quickly changed my stuff, and he and I went live at about, 6, 7 o'clock Pacific on Friday and did 2 hours of practice. We did it with Crapsy, and I'll never do that again. We were just practice throwing, and I was so distracted by Crapsy, I wasn't really focusing at all. But it was fun to shoot with him, and for me, terrible throwing. I had a lot of PSOs that night, just not throwing my best. He threw really good. He was trying some different tosses out. I threw terrible, but a couple of things came out of that for me. One is good to shoot with him. He can kind of see what I'm doing. He can't see from behind, so he's not seeing the dice flight like I'm seeing. He's seeing the release and he's seeing the landing, but he's not seeing the flight. So I will find a way to install a third camera back there so that we can do that again. But he also noticed a couple of things, a couple of hitches in my swing, basically. So my golf coach, Gargoyle, had me fix a couple things in the throw. So when I throw today, you'll maybe hear me talking through what I'm doing. And he also reminded me that I'm a very negative person, and I talk myself into sevens all the time. So I probably have to stop doing some of that. So anyway, bad night for me, but I got a lifeline from Gargoyle. He gave me some great advice, and we're going to put some of that stuff into practice today. And speaking of today, we're going to do a little Mathy Monday. And I've already seen the screen a couple times, and this came up. Actually, it's funny how I do this. Want to hear more how the onion, peel back the onion? I always have an idea of what the show is going to be. But then I get up in the morning and because at nighttime I watch a bunch of YouTube videos and I'm like, I'm going to react to what I see at night in the morning show. Talking about Jeremy and Brian today. This morning I get up and I'm watching Joe. And my plan today was to do a horseman, which I'm going to do anyway. But the plan was to play that cruise ship style, right? And to see what happens. Well, watching Joe throw and Jen is in chat. Joe's playing 10-0-10 on the ATS, and Jen's like, don't do that, play 5-5-5, it's better. And I got to thinking, what is actually better? Like, what's actually better to do? What's the more likely thing to happen? Let's take a look at it. Here's the actual math on some of these things, okay? So I think it's important, again, always to know the numbers, if you can find them. What happened here? We went back a screen. Again, I'm sorry for the weirdness here, but here's the actual probabilities. This is from the Wizard of Odds, okay? To hit the small or the tall, it's about a 2.6% probability. To hit a tall or a small. To the full ATS, it's about 0.5%, right? Probabilistically speaking, that's what the numbers are. So it's not very good. They're both very hard to hit. But you get a 2.5% chance to make 30 to 1, and a 0.5% chance, so 1 out of every 200 or so, making 170 or 150 to 1, okay? Here's the other ones that I think are interesting, though. These do-it-yourself side bet kind of things, right? Now, one of them is the 4 or the 10 for 12.5% chance. I'll show you what I mean by that. Or 3 4s or 3 10s, 3.5% chance. These are bets you can manage yourself, okay? And what they pay is very interesting, okay? I'll show you here in a minute on the table what these look like. The other one is the box number repeaters, right? And you don't always have repeater tables, but if you bet the repeater and manage the bet yourself, like I talk about doing a lot, you have about a 1% chance on each number in the box, between 0.8 and 1.3%, depending on the number, of hitting a repeater, a natural repeater, 5 6s or 8s, or 6 6s or 8s, 5 9s or 5s, or 4 4s or 10s. Right, about a 1% chance of that. I tell you a lot. I see that more often. Okay, I have shot in since we reset the book on my DI practicing. Right, we did about 900 and some throws so far on the roll tracker, which is 96 shooters. So I'm actually at about 100 shooters. Okay, at 100 shooters, I can almost do an actual percentage review. Here's where I am. Okay. Remember, the all tall small, we should be at about, what did I say it was? 2.5% for the small or the tall, and 0.5% for the all, right? So my small is 3. So I'm right on target. 2.5%, I got 3 smalls. That's almost perfect, a little better than perfect, right? I got 5 talls, better than perfect, right? A little bit better. 0 fulls, which is right where I should be. I shouldn't have had any yet, right? So I'm right on the money there. Here's the thing. The box number repeater that I tell you is the better bet for me, I should have about a 1% to 1.2%, 8.8% on the 6 or 8, 1.2% on the other ones to get any repeaters, to get any of them to repeat, right? So each of these should be 1 or less, right? 2 repeater 4s, 5 repeater 5s, 4 repeater 6s and 8s, 1 9, which is the only one that's actually correct, and 3 10s, right? The repeater for me is 3 to 4 to 5 times better than what's expected, the way that I throw the dice, okay? That's interesting. If I'm gonna do a do-it-yourself side bet or play the actual side bet, that's the one I'm picking because of this right here. Now, the other thing, and I'll show you in a minute what this looks like. What does it look like to get 3 4s or 10s, okay? The probability is 12.5% of that happening. I've done it 20 times. So I'm over what we should be on that one. 3 independent 4s or 10s, I don't have the numbers on. I was trying to get the query to work, and I was getting a bug this morning. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the number out. So I don't know what I've thrown there. I'm sure it's not correct. I'm sure I'm a little less than average on that one. But let me switch to a screen here. I want to show you, to me, what this looks like for the 4s and 10s, okay? And actually all of them. I'm gonna go to the box. I think I can do this box view here, and I think you should be able to see the box numbers along with, yeah, Okay. Shoot. You should be able to see the. Oh, you know it's not going to come up, is it? Nope. All right, that's okay. You're not going to see the words, but let me show you what I was getting to with the 4s or 10s. It's interesting. Okay. And again, the 1% chance, like the 6, for example, if you have just a $6 6, right? You're supposed to have about a 0.8% chance of making this work. I've done it 4% of the time, right? What that looks like to get 6 of these things, if you just compress it up, or let's do it at 12. It's actually a realistic bet at $12, right? What does 6 6s at $12 look like, right? To get that repeater bet. And again, I've done it 4 times on the 6 and the 8, right? That looks pretty good, right? It looks like $14, right? And we'll just do full presses to 24, right? That pays 28. And what do we do there? We go to 48. Yeah, we can actually go to 56 with that. I think we can go, yeah, 40, 50. I'm sorry, 54. We can go to 54 on the second one, right? That's 1, 2. On the third one, 54 pays 63, right? And now we're at 102. Yeah, 102 on the third one. And on the fourth one, right, 102 pays 119. So we can do 120 for 1, right? 120 for 1 on the fourth one, right? And now we're at 200. We can go to 2. I don't know what we go to here. 2 whatever. Can't go to 240, but I can go to 210, I guess. Yeah, we'll go to 2. Actually, 210. Yeah, we'll just go to 210. It's an easy one. We'll stay there. 210 on the fourth. On the fifth, right? It's 245. We can do 250 for 5, right? And now we're at 450, right? On the last one. And on the money shot, 450 pays 5 1/4. So for the $12 bet, right? You're making a pretty good amount of money. That happens 4 out of 100 shooters, right? For me, 1 out of 100 shooters for you. Is that a better play than burning the ATS $5 on 100 shooters, right? $5 on the all 100 times versus $12 on the 6, right? And out of 100 times, you're going to get 1 or 2 of those versus not getting an ATS. To me, that's a better bet. Anyway, that's what that looks like. That's what 90 to 1 looks like when you're betting a $12 bet. Now, the 4 and 10 is the one I wanted to show you. Let's just do a quarter because it's easy, and I won't do any VIGs. And this is the one that I've hit. Again, you should hit this about 12 times out of 100 shooters. I did it 20 times. Let's just show you what it looks like if it works, right? This is Ryan marked the point, right? One of these pays $50, and you sister press. That's hit number 1, right? Hit number 2 pays $100, and we'll press them both. That was hit number 2, right? On the third 4 or 10, 100 pays 200, and you come back down, right? And you got 1, 2, $350, 7 to 1. You're out here for $50. Pay 7 to 1, 12% chance to win. That's a thing you can do. That's actually possible, right? You're even here. You got the same number of ways to roll the 4s and 10s versus the 7, right? That's why it's a 12% chance to do it, right? 12 out of 100 shooters ought to get you that amount of money for $50. That's not terrible. That's a better side bet, and you can do it yourself than the ATS, right? And that's what I was getting to here with this. And again, I don't want to, the holy war of the ATS is what it is. I want you to see that there's other options to it. Let's see, how do I get back to where I was? I don't know that I can do it. Can I do this? Oh yeah, look at that, goes right back. That's cool. Anyway, so what I just showed you on the 4 or 10, right? You're supposed to get it about 12 times. I've done it 20. The repeater on the 6, that what I just showed you should happen 1 out of 100 times. I've done it 4 times, right? I tell you, I see these kind of things happen more often. Almost every table I go to, somebody whacks a repeater on something. Somebody goes off on one number somewhere, right? That kind of stuff happens. And I think it's interesting, right? If the 4 or 10 were to really pop, like let's say that you were ballsy enough to try for 3, right? Let's go back to the box again. If you're ballsy enough to say, you know what? I'm going to try just the 4 or the 10 by itself 3 times. What does that look like? That's harder to do, right? Obviously, it's a much lower percentage, right? But the 10, for example, 1 pays 2, and you stack it. That's hit 1, right? 3 pays 150. Right, 75 pays 150. Let's stack that up at 2 1/4, and that's hit number 2, right? 2 1/4 pays 450, right? So on 3 hits of a 10 or a 4, if you're brave enough not to collect for 3 hits, collect on the 3rd hit, there's your starter bet, and that's $500, right? Those are the kind of things where for a minimal, I hate to say minimal, $25 is not minimal. But for a minimal investment, let's say you're going to do like a $10, right? The table minimum at most places is $10. What does $10 look like? Well, 10 pays, let's call it 20. Okay, you're going to drop in 2, 18, 20 for 2, and make it look like 30. That's hit number 1. Hit number 2, 30 pays 60. Right, and we'll press that up. Now you've got $90 out there. Hit number 3, 90 pays 175, 180, right? And for your $10 investment, you're out for $250, 200, almost 275. Okay, that's not terrible, and that happens more often than the ATS. I would much rather. Let's go back over here. I would much rather advise you put $10 on the 4 and 10, $20 investment. Versus 555, right? You're going to hit 3 4s that you can press, collect, 3 10s, press, collect more often than you'll hit a tall or a small. I guarantee it. That's my experience says that that's a better bet, and it pays pretty okay, right? $275 for $10. That's not bad. 27 to 1. It's not quite 30 to 1 that you're getting on the ATS, but you're going to see that happen more often, right? Look at the percentages. Let's go back a screen. Whoop. Back one screen here. Oh, not that way. This way here. We go back. I'm sorry with the screens. I'll get this right. Right. You should see that happening 3.5% of the time, which is more often than either the tall or the small. Right. 3 4s or 3 10s happens more often by a lot. 3.5% is a lot more than 2.5%. It's not just 1 point higher. It's a order of magnitude higher. That happens more often. Doesn't quite pay 30 to 1. It pays like again, 27 to 1 or whatever that is. It's a better bet. It's a better side bet. To me, if you want to make actual money and not just have a wing and a prayer, that's a better bet. And it happens. To me, the repeaters, right? About 1% is the average, right? Boss like me, look at the numbers. I would rather play that than burn 555 up top. And if I'm going to burn up top, I'm going to burn in the middle only, not on the outsides. It's worth a $5 flyer in the middle to me. Jen's got me convinced of this, and I don't like the ATS anyway. I'll take the $5 shot in the middle because at some point during the roll, I'm going to pull $5 and change. I'm going to hit the 6 or 8 for $14, right? That 4 whites, basically, I look at that as my bet. I got $10 profit, and I paid for my all. That's a better way to kind of do it, I think, right? Anyway, that's your math quiz today. Your math lesson today is this. There's no guarantees here other than I feel like these things are more possible than the magic of the ATS that gets wiped out on all the come out 7s, right? You can control when the 4s and 10s are active. You can turn those bets off or on when you feel like it. They don't have to work to come out. You can turn them off and hop real quick. You get a squirrely feeling like I get sometimes, like, I don't know, okay, turn. My 4 and 10 are both at 150. Turn them off for a minute. Hop them both for $10, and I'll burn $10 on a quick hop to take a breather if you feel like. If you get worried about that kind of stuff, right? You have options when you're doing repeaters and you're trying for these magical bets. Just consider it. Consider it instead of paying the ATS tax. The ATS tax will freaking get you. All right. All right. Here we go. Yeah, no table has both. That's for sure. All right. Even the math nerd, nobody likes myopia, will bet $5 on the all. And you know what? Because it's a flyer, right? He'll tell you all the time. Sometimes luck and math collide, right? And I think ultimately here's the deal with math. And I think this is an important, and I hopefully he's listening and he'll agree with me on this, right? The math doesn't change, right? But the math is only true in the long term. And I think the math guys, whatever, it's all long-term math, right? 10,000 throws, everything equalizes and you'll be kind of where you're supposed to be. In these really short runs though, luck will overcome that. You'll be in a good spot, right? In 10,000 rolls, you're going to have a bunch of really shitty ones and a bunch of really great ones. Sometimes you catch it a great streak, right? In those lucky moments, the $5 all is a good bet, right? If you win on it and you collect it and stop going back out there again, right? You're good, right? If you catch a repeater on something, thank the Lord, man, I made a repeater bet, I'm done playing. Like that's the kind of thing you have to do. That's the discipline, right? Anyway, math nerd is it is a compliment. I think these guys are smart. Like I said, guys that you may not like to hear from that have the truth may not be enjoyable. Like I give this guy in our chat, he's Odds Working is his handle, right? I think it's actually PJ Strong, but Odds Working, he's a pain in the ass, right? He says a lot of really, divisive things, right? You guys are all idiots because whatever. Doesn't mean he's wrong, right? Or incorrect. JB is always correct with what he says with the math, always correct. However, in this tight little window, when you catch it and you make money on it, the difference between me and everybody else, or most of the people, is when I get a tight little window and I catch a good one, I'm done. Because I'm not going to throw it back out there immediately and let this happen to me, which chasing the win happens. Now, it doesn't mean that the next session, it's a bad session. I still give the money back. In that moment, I'm not giving it back. Most people go, oh, great. And they're up 1,000 and they're down 500 when they leave because they give into like this luck can't stop kind of a thing. Lucky runs are short, man. That's why on our Tuesday roulette sessions, it's lucky roulette. It's like catch a streak, get the fuck out, right? You have to play it that way. You got to catch a streak and burn out. If the streak is bad for you, don't go back and chase it. That's where the ladder folks, the Fibonacci roulette people have it wrong, in my opinion, because chasing that loss, they're going to end up chasing and compounding their losses. I'm not willing to do that. All right, let's go make a paycheck. You ready? JB is there. It's not. I'm going to correct you here. Don't say there was a time when he was protective of newbies and tried to help. JB is always protective of newbies. JB, for as vitriolic as his words can sometimes be, or as maybe you might get offended by the way he says things, and he's like in chat, he can be kind of like this, right? He's always protective of the new player. He's always up my ass to say, John, you've got to A, simplify what you say, B, don't be so dogmatic about things, and C, make sure everybody knows the truth. Now, most of your audience is going to ignore the truth, which he's right about that. Most people say, whatever. I'm doing it my way. Fine. My job is to give you the truth. His job is to make sure I understand it, right? Because he's way better at math than I am. He helps me understand things. I am good at explaining things. You all are good and or bad about taking the knowledge and doing the right things with it. Some of you just are like, I'm doing my own thing. Don't care about any of the truth. I'm just going to play my way. Fine. If I've given you the truth and you choose to ignore it and play your own way, Godspeed. Fine. That's what we're here for. We're here to make adults out of you, right? You guys can think for yourselves. All right, paycheck time. Let's do it. Let's go over here and look at the total numbers so far. We made $100,000. Remember back we did like a 200 and some shows, and I turned 10 grand into 100 grand. Now I'm pretending to have $100,000 in the bank. What would I do? Well, I'm taking $5K to the casino every day. I'm gonna try and make $500 a day. I'm gonna put $300 into the master bankroll and kind of keep growing that thing, right? I would take $100 and put into an expenses account to help me pay for gas and food and coffee and airplanes and whatever else, right? $100 is going to go into Johnny's fun account where I can do crazy things like play the ATS or repeater bets, right? So the goal is win $500, split it up in a smart way as we go. That's my goal. So far, right, since the start of the year, I've done about 45 sessions or so, right? I'm at about a 75% win rate. We've that $300 at a time has turned into about $1,400 or $14,000, right? That's what it is. Our wins have been pretty big. Our losses have been pretty small, comparatively speaking. Right? We're losing about 20-something% as we lose, but our wins are kind of okay sized. So that's where we've been. Let's try it again today. I think I'm gonna do the Horseman today. $5,000 buy-in. Win goal is gonna be $500. I will get the roll tracker and Crapsy going today. Although I will tell you, pretty soon I'm probably gonna stop doing Crapsy on this show. I really want to focus. That's got to go over there. I really want to focus on my throws and focus on myself. And Crapsy can be very distracting. And I don't know. I don't know if y'all are getting enough out of Crapsy from me to feel like you're getting that where it's worthwhile. But here we go. Here's my rack. I got to take this thing off the table. So give me a second here to get this off and the laptop on. And yeah, I don't know if Crapsy, with the way that I run it, is valuable to you. I don't play very long sessions usually, so I do it more as a courtesy than anything else. But here we go. It's getting itself. Oh God, it logged me out. Hold on. Pro Craps. Okay, I'm logged back in. Let me go to live tables here. Live table Pro Craps Daily Paycheck. Okay, Crapsy is now started. Now the roll tracker has been refreshed and I am ready to get going. Here we go. $5,000 in the rack. Let's do the $100 Horseman. All right, let's drop a purple chip out there and we'll get 5 blacks. 5. And we'll do it like we talked about this morning. We'll do it cruise ship style. Okay. So instead of going 2, 1, 1, 1, we're going to go 100 on the don't and I'll go $50 come bets. We'll do it at that level first. We'll see how we can grind it out. We'll see what cruise ship Horseman looks like. Okay, here we go. There's the dice. Let me get to here, and I think we're going to be okay. We have 8 people waiting to play in Crapsy, so join in on the fun. And here we go. Let's get these dice set. Brand new dice, by the way. I cracked open a brand new sleeve of dice, 2 sleeves the other day. So these are sharp. Here we go. The app is a commodity. I get it, man. And I think what's important to me is throwing, right? Here we go. That is a come out 5, 4 and a 1. I don't know if you can see these very good. Hopefully that camera is better. That was not it's a 4-1. I think I might have rolled one. It was a 5. So there we go. Point is 5. Whoop. Alrighty. 4-1. Yeah, the only thing Crapsy does for me that's good is it helps me get timing down. Like it's like set the dice, throw the dice, grab the dice, enter it in, get them set, and then I can press the button. But it's like walking away from here, as you'll see. Dice set, I'm ready to throw. Now I got to press the button. I'm going to trade in a black for 4 greens. 50 in the cup. And again, like cruise ship, right? My average bet is what we're looking at, right? The average bet right now is, they're logging me as a black chip player, which is cool. 150 in action already, right? When I get that thing set, it's going to be 250 in action. So, yeah. The difference, Duracell, though, is you're right. It's the same as playing for comps at a casino. The cruise ship gives you actual comps, though, right? Like land-based. Like one thing that Brian was saying last night, and I agree with him 100%, is that land-based casinos comps are horseshit, right? They're so low. Looks like the roll tracker didn't turn on. Hold on a second. Let me go fix this really quick. I got to hit this button here and that button there, and that should fire it up, maybe. Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong. Hold on. I'm on the wrong screen. On my own. Hang on. I got to fix something. I was on the wrong roll tracker for 1. That should show up now. There we go. Okay. Anyway, audience is tough. Yeah, it is tough. Here we go. Point is 5. I'm focusing on my throw here. more than anything else. Trying to get, look at that action right there, 314. I'm trying to get that. The other night with Gargoyle, my throws were bouncing halfway up the table. All right, comeback goes to the 4. Type that in. And we'll type that in over here. There we go. And next comeback's out. So again, the Horseman at this level, I think, is a good one. The nice thing, like I said, the cruise ship comp systems are well known for the most part. They're you can expect what you can expect. The land-based casinos, they just don't give you enough, man. And I think that whole conversation that David led last week, if you watched me and David, dealer versus player, the whole conversation surrounding where the casinos are going through right now is very interesting, right? Because the rooms cost a ton, the food costs a ton, you got to pay to park, valet ain't free anymore, and there's this competition between the casinos, the gambling at the casinos, and the business of the casino, which, another good throw. 5, that's the point. Oh man, we lost our don't. What a bummer. Okay, 3, 2, 5. Let's go 2, 3. Okay, so we'll lose our don't. That sucks. Comeback goes to the 5. Puck is off. And again, the Horseman has 3 come bets. I'm going to take another black chip, get greens for it. So our third come bet will be a pass line bet. I'm going to go to the pass line, and that'll be our three. We're going to go full right side now. That's how it's going to be. But yeah, the war between the casino business and the casino itself is happening. And, the casinos are saying, hey, we got no money. The players have no money to gamble with because you're sucking them dry everywhere else. And your comp system is bullshit. So the players can't afford to stay. They can't afford, right? Everything's money. And it's taking money off the tables, which is why they come here in the first place. And part of the problem, too, is the casinos don't own the restaurant. They're all leased out. So the restaurants charge whatever they want to. The casino's getting a flat rate of lease. They're not making profit on that stuff. So it's horrible, man. The whole system is broken. And David's blog really goes into it. You should definitely watch that. Here we go. We're coming out. That's going to be an 8 hard. 4-4 square pair. There's the 8. 4-4. But yeah, so the war between those two is interesting. Like I said, the casino doesn't own the restaurants. They're leased out. Restaurants charge whatever the hell they want to charge, right? So comps to give to a restaurant that they don't own definitely doesn't work well. And that's why the whole business is in this state of turmoil. And it's going to have to come full circle at some point. But yeah, Vegas has definitely become a town where gambling is not the primary, right? Used to be gambling was why you went. Then it was family town. And then they went back to gambling only. And now it's all about everything but gambling. And the casinos are dying because of it. It's a shame. It's a shame. Top heavy, 100% top heavy. Here we go, coming out. Or we already came out. We have a 5, a 4, and an 8. I need to get some juice up in here. We're going to lose our first series of bets. Here we go. But if we analyze, there's a 7. If we analyze the come betters or the bets, right? We had, even now, I got 150 in action, right? So again, we lost our series there, 6-1-7. 6-1. If I wouldn't have just hit that point, we would have been okay, right? We'll lose all 3 of them. And in the end, it's 250 down, right? It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Here we go. Coming on out. Let's see if we can't make that back plus a little bit, right? All right, let's get Crapsy reset. And here we go. They did turn themselves into renters, right? And look at the result of that. It's awful, right? It just, like I said, the town it's a town divided. And the more I talk to David, see, that's it, Dr. S. That's the word. That's the one hole in the Horseman that you hit once in a while, right? You're gonna get whacked on that every so often, and it happens. But yeah, the more I talk to David, the more you hear about the insider bit of this stuff and where that all happens. You know what I mean? And where all that divisiveness happens between the casinos and the properties. It's just interesting. I love hearing that inside skinny. There's a 6, 5-1. Okay, we're gonna probably do it again, right? 5-1-6. There's the point. 5-1. And again, if I repeat myself and I lose my bets here, as a shooter, I'm okay with that, right? I would like to win money today, obviously, but as a shooter, I'm okay with shooting good and knocking my bets down. All right, here we go. Here we go. That's a 6 is the point. Come bets coming. What if I flew it to the Arnold? I don't like the Arnold. I really don't like the Arnold. I don't think perpetual come bets is a way to play this game. I hate it, matter of fact. I've done it in simulations. It gets pounded. It's just not good. Sorry, I love Whalen, but that's what I know. It got really popular. That's not a good way to play. I've done it. Too many simulations. That thing gets pounded, and there's no opportunity in it. That's the problem with it. By scoping it here, I think you're able to be nimble, which is what we want. We want to be nimble and get out of dodge quickly. There's a 7, 4, 3. So what happens is right here, we win back what we just lost. Right, we're back to basically square again. 4, 3. Take advantage of the rhythm of the table, right? I think this is a little bit better. So here goes $100 there and $50 here, and we're basically back to square, right? There's our $400. We lost. What did we lose? Yeah, we lost all of it last time, so we're back. We're down 100 now. So cool. Let's come back out and do it again. One more of those, and we'll be in great shape. And this is the kind of thing where I don't care if I'm PSOing, right? I would rather have the don't pass. Win late, but crush a bunch of numbers up top as a shooter. All right, here we go. There's a that, there's a this. Crapsy's ready to go. I'm ready to go. Hey, it's Brian. How you doing, pal? Here we go. So Dan, great question. Great. I'll address that after I shoot. Here we go. Let's come out first. That's going to be a 9, 5 and a 4. 5, 4, 9. This is why we can do the horseman shows all day long, right? So here's the deal. I'm allotting $50. Let me get another set of greens here. I'm allotting $50 per come bet, right? So it's $100 don't, right? And it's $50 for each come bet. Now, you could go 25 and 25 in odds, or $50 flat. Either way is good. What's the difference? The difference is how hard you want to attack the 7, right? If I want a full assault on the 7, I just let the bets go flat. If I want to make a little bit more on the right side when it goes up, and even here, you're talking about a $5 difference, right? This pays 30 instead of 25 on the odds. The difference is not that great. I would rather at this point stay here. The odds are important if you're going to go full. If you want to go $10 in odds, right? And then $40, which is the extra money, or $10 flat, 40 in odds, better deal than doing 25 and 25. I'm going to stay with the flats, right? Options abound for you, right? It just matter what you have on the table. And again, the comp rating of the odds is nothing, right? So if I go 10 flat, I'm getting rated for 110, not 150, if that matters to you. All right, here we go. There's that. Here's this. We have a point of 6. We have a come bet in the works. Let's rock and roll. Seven out. That was a beautiful freaking throw, too. God, that was a nice looking throw. 5, 2, 7. All the good ones are 7s. All the good ones are 7s, right? All the hot girls are crazy. Isn't that what they say? 2, 5, 7. Okay. So we'll lose nothing. We're going to win everywhere. 150. So now, how are we? 300, 400, 500, and we're up 50. From being down 250 to being up 50, that's why this is a great cruise ship strategy, right? Getting rated for, in both those cases, 150 in action, right? We got our ass kicked early. We got 2 wins in a row. You're back to basically even, and we start over again, right? It's the bounce around strategy, right? And it's fine. If you're going to be playing for comps, right, this is an okay way to do it. And if you catch 3 or 4 shooters like that in a row, you'll be up and you're also winning some money, right? This $50 could very easily, that I've got here in the rack, this $50 could very easily be, you know what? Let's take a shooter off of the don't and go 44 inside and play some right side play. Maybe I go 44 inside and do a little GM spin right now. I earned $50, right? That's the way that you can, engage the table a little bit more funly, I guess, right? Or you could take the $50 that you won and go a little higher here, right? Your choice. Ladies' choice, as they say. Here we go. Here we go. 6, 5, 2, 1. I like having options, you know. I like having options. I like Dan's idea of playing a smaller come with some odds. We can do that if you want to see it. Here we go. Coming out. That's a yo, 6-5, yo, we lose our don't. 6-5, mid-mo. So that sucks. That sucks. I'll take the don't away. Hopefully you guys can see me doing this bets down here. So take that away, and now we got to switch over. We got to switch sides, right? Either we go 150 don't and do an FU bet like Ken does, or we run 3 right side bets. Either way, right? Let's go right side. Let's switch sides. We'll go $50 on the pass. We'll do 3 $50 bets and try and make it back on the right side. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll try something different next time. Here we go. I'm not a big Pie Gal player, Dr. S. I don't know if it's maybe Pie Gal's better with friends, but I've played it a lot of times and it's kind of a downer of a game to me. You know what I mean? But you're right. A lot of ties. You can put a lot of big bets out there and tie quite a bit. Same sort of thing. There's a 6, a 4, and a 2. Let's move the puck over. All right. Next comeback's on the way. Let's put the 6 in there. 4, 2. This time we don't want to have the quick out, right? Last time we had the quick 7. This time we don't want that. We want to let these bets run a little bit. Let's let them run. Okay. 6, 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, not a great bounce, but we'll take it. 4-1. Or sorry, 3-1-4. Idiot. 3-1-4. 3-1-4. Ah, the roll tracker didn't pick up the 6. All right, 4-2, 3-1. All right, we'll move you up there. We'll put our third one in. And here we go. The Gramsci button. Well, I didn't even see what you said there, Nemo. I'm sorry. 8, 6, 2. Good looking toss there. 6, 2. I like that they're dying so good at the end of the thing now. All right, there it is. There's our 3 bets. We have 4, and 8, and a 6. That's pretty good. I like all 3 of those numbers. I like them all. I can roll them all. If I don't, then it's our second time today where the horseman has the buzzsaw, right? Lose the don't, lose all the come bets. That happens. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go. Give me a 6 or an 8 here. 6 or an 8. Not a great throw. It's a 6, though. We'll take that. 5-1. Now, here's a little trick, a little tip. 1-5-6, 1-5-6. Remember the horseman, we don't do a couple of things, right? We're going to get paid first, right? We don't continually play. This is not a molly where you go 3 points forever, okay? The bets go out, they lose or they win, and they come back to the rack, and that's the end of the bet. Now, I could take that win, that $50 win, and go grab a couple of numbers and be full right side. I have the option to take that $50 I just won on the pass line and put that in action, but the bet has to come back, right? Me, because we lost our don't, I'm going to let these 2 bets here resolve. Hopefully they resolve positively. If one of them wins, I may go back out and be a right side guy. You got to make that call on your own, how you want to play that out. But yeah, if you go perpetual come betting in the horseman, you're going to get destroyed. That's a experiential thing I'll share with you. It's not a molly, and it's not intended to be a molly. It's intended to be a side switcher. So normally 2 come bet wins and we're off to the races on the right side. I wish I wouldn't have lost that damn don't though. Here we go. That is a 9, a 6 and a 3. Alrighty, 6, 3, 9. That's a new point. And here we go. Oh, back end. Yeah, I've done that before. I don't love it. That's actually Waylon's DC pony. Switch from the horse to the pony. Way to roll, go into the don't. You're mixing strategies there though, for sure. This is Vegas economy can still take a hit if China tariff isn't resolved. It'll get resolved. I mean, frankly, well, I'm not going to talk economics with you, but the China tariff thing is, I think it's either short-lived or we're going to be getting everything from Taiwan and Hong Kong, right? China's going to get, I think, hurt in this whole thing. Luckily, the food, it's a 7. The food doesn't come from China, which is good. 5-2, 5-2. It's trinkets, right? Trinkets and electronics, 5-2. Okay. Bummer, man. Didn't want to lose those 2 when they come out, but we did. That stinks. Okay, we can start over though. That's good. We can start over again. Here we go. Yeah, the tariffs thing, it just doesn't worry me that much. And people they're so verklempt about it. I just don't care that much. I feel like we're going to be all right. I'm going to get, let's see, 1, 2. I know you guys can't see my rack here. There we go. $100 in the don't. 3 come bets ready. I just don't worry about it. I feel like all these things end up resolving themselves. And I'm just not going to be in a state of panic over it. You know what I mean? I'm going to be an observer, let it happen. And, as long as you don't, make rash decisions in a crazy time, you're going to be okay. That's just my general thinking. I just don't want to make a rash decision when things are in chaos. Let the chaos do it, right? Let the chaos happen, and then you'll pick it up in the end. There's a 4, hard 4. I think people overanalyze, and I think some of the analysts actually is a 2-2-4. Some of the analysts are the ones who put us in this mess to start with. That's why I don't even like what I hear on TV. I don't even watch the news. Like some of the people that are telling you what's right and wrong are the ones that made the decisions that are why we're in so much debt and so far behind. So I don't know that they're the ones I should be listening to. Let it happen. Let it happen. 6 or 8. You want a 6 or 8, Jen? Are you on that? Oh, you're probably not doing come bets. Here we go. Let's see. Come bet. Crap. See, I didn't press the button. See, this is why I get iced. I ice myself so I forget to press the button. Here we go. Here we go. Nice throw here, Johnny. 7. Damn it. Good for me, bad for you. That was a 7. I iced myself. Come on. There we go. 4-3. Sorry about that. Freaking crapsy. I always forget to press it, and then I get my hands off the dice, and I have to walk over there and press the freaking button. Sorry. 150. I'm going to bring my money down out of the rack. I just want to show you where we are. All this up and down, right? I've been picking the bets off, and it's been like, you know what I mean? I've been like down whatever, up a little bit, whatever. Look where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 550. Now we're back to being up $50 again. Right? Isn't that interesting? Right? It's like you can tread water all day. Is it winning? I'm up $50, right? I mean, and we had 2 disasters, right? We had 2 like full losses, 2 disasters. But you're down, up, down, up. And again, on the cruise ship, 150, 175, 150, 200, all this good action, right? It's good action. And I think, let's get this as a black. So there's our next don't pass. There's our next 3 come bets. I have $300 in the rack, right? I think we're in good shape. Let's say you're not gonna hit the horseman will never hit a home run, right? Unless you fully transition out of it. That's the only way to hit a home run is to get out of it. And if you get a chance to get out of it, and if I have a good roller, we'll see what it looks like to get out of it. If I don't have a good roller, we're just going to eke out $25 wins all day long. All right, here we go. We're coming out. Coming out. Let's avoid the come out disaster this time. Let's have a good run. Let's have a good run. Well, Duracell, I did that once and everybody bitched. Remember when I had the 20-second timer and everybody complained it was taking too long? So I went to a 10-second timer. And I'm trying to time it to where once I set my dice, which takes me a few seconds, I get on a rhythm. I think that's going to be an okay rhythm. I just don't want to get, to where I'm only worrying about crap seat and not worrying about my throw and my betting. There's an 8, 5, 3. So watch. I move the dice. I walk over here. I type it in 5, 3, 8. Then I walk back over to the table. I grab the dice. Now the timer, in my head, the timer's going, right? My internal timer. There's the 6. There's the 2. That should be about 10, 15 seconds. Then I press the button, and the button gives you 10 more seconds. So between me dinking around and the button being pressed, you should have enough time. All right, there we go. Point is 8. We got our come bet. We got our DP bet. And let's go. Jeopardy soundtrack. There we go. Here we go. A little kiss. It's a hard 8. We lose our don't. Maybe this is another one of those we're going to lose the whole thing kind of rolls, right? 4, 4. Right away, buckshot. This come bet moves to the 8. Puck goes off. We'll lose our don't. And now we're back on the right side. All right. Here we go. John can't figure it out, and John doesn't really want to. Let's just be honest about it. I don't like Crapsy. I don't like it, and I don't like running shows that use it. I'm not good at it, and it is what it is. I do it as a courtesy, but it's not my thing. We're coming out. Here we go. Yeah, Duraslayer. I don't want to. I don't want to get better at it. I don't really care. Like, I look at it like, you know what I mean? I do it because I kind of have to. And my rhythm is, get used to the rhythm, right? Dice are out. I type them in. You got about 20 seconds from this point to get your bets in. Shouldn't be that hard to get your bets in this amount of time. While I get them set, there should be plenty of time. All right, here we go. Last come bet. Let's get some repeaters. I haven't had really a good repeater run yet. We haven't had a lot of numbers coming up that hit again. Only one, I think the 6. Now we have what? The 8, the 9, and something on the way. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's a 4, 3, 1. All right. 1, 3. Or just watch George. I mean, again, I'm doing, the paycheck is for me, right? It's like, this is my time to practice and get my numbers in. So, there's no requirement. I'm not teaching anything, really. There's no requirement here. Let's see. This goes to here. Yeah, my opinions on the app are very strong, as you know. You guys all know how I feel about it. Come on, let's get it done. Repeaters, Johnny, repeaters. Make some money for once. That's a 5, a 3, and a 2. We're not on it. 3, 2. We've hit every number. We got to get the ones to hit a second time, man. Come on. Come on. $6 or $8, please. I'll try. I'd love to get the 8 to pay. Yeah, Dan, I've stopped worrying about that. I used to bitch all the time. That's a 9. I used to bitch all the time about how people played on Crapsy. I just don't care because I don't show the results, right? I'm not one of the YouTubers that shows the leaderboard. 5, 4. I think that's the point, right? So I get paid. Yay, we made money. And that comes down. So that's not my whole thing. So I don't worry about that so much anymore. To me, it's like, it's part of what we're doing here, but like the timing of it, I have to do all this other shit. I just want to practice. You know what I mean? It's like, it's distracting. It's just a distracting thing. You know what I mean? And I don't know. All right, let's do it. Dice are out. We're coming out. I got the 4 and the 8 sitting there. Let's set a point of 4 or something. Let's get a 4 as the point. That'd be so cool. Come on, let's go. I think, yeah, I mean, my, come on, be a 4. It's a freaking 7. Shoot. My give back to the community is the part before this. That's how I look at it. 4, 3, 7. So we'll lose our comes. And so now we're down 100. So we went from being up 150 to being down. We have $400. We're down $100 now. So we'll start over again and try and get it back. That was a 4, 3, come out 7. Even though it's the same shooter, I'm still going to go back out. But yeah, my give back to the community is the talk before the paycheck. The paycheck is just for entertainment. I feel like you guys can watch me struggle and laugh at me, and that's to me where the fun part of the show is. And I don't want this part to feel like work if I can help it, right? All right, 2-1. Here we go. Coming out. Coming out. Six, 3, 9. 6, 3, 9. 9, 9. Center field 9. Mark that 9, right? 6, 3. What I should be doing is working on my stick calls, right? I should be working my dealer skills, the verbals. All right, 6, 5, 2, 1. $50 in to come. Let's get her done. This is a nice. Look at those colors. This is a nice looking box number roll here, right? 2 8s, 2 9s, 3 9s. Good looking little roll here, right? Here we go. Be a good one. It's a yo. That'll work. 6, 5. Yay. Now I'm going to show you how I do this visually, but I wouldn't do this in the casino. I'll show you what I mean by this. To me, that come bet right there that's going to get paid, that come bet did its job, right? It comes down to the rack. The next come bet goes out. I would leave the bet out there, but in my mind, that come bet did its thing, and it's done. So that's how I visually sort of, or mentally sort of view it that way. I'm only going to have this come bet and one more, because one come bet already got paid. So I'm only going to have 2 in action at most, which I think people don't know that that's how you're supposed to play this thing. But that's one of the horseman's secrets is 3 come bets total get placed. And one of them won, it's not going to go back out. So only 2 come bets get played from here on out. Here we go. That is a 6, 5 and a 1. I think some people were asking for that earlier. 5, 1, 6, the mixer. 5, 1. And a 5, 1. Okay, that's going to move up. And our last come bet comes out. Here we go. It's a little chilly this morning. It's 8:30. Wow, I gotta probably stop going here pretty soon, huh? That's a 10. Yikes. I don't want to have a comeback go to the 10. I don't have to. 4, 6. And a 4, 6. Okay. Well, there it is. We have come 6, a come 10, and a no 9. That's going to be what we're going to battle with here. And that's going to be it. Going to war with 2 good bets and 1 ugly one. The way I look at it, right? Here we go. Maybe we'll catch a 5-5 here, huh? What do you think? Can you catch a little 5-5 action? It's the 7. It's the 7, and we tie effectively, right? Actually, we won $50, 4-3. That's not a bad roller. 4-3-7. So remember, we won on that first come bet, the 11, right? So we profited $50 there. These two will lose, but they pay the don't. The don't gets paid $100. I'll make it a black chip. And so for the day, we're down $50, right? Again, we're playing $250 per shooter. And it seems like, God, that's a lot of money, right? You think about it, it's a lot of money. If you're on a ship and you got $1,000, you're buying for $1,000, right? We never really go up or down more than one bullet. If a bullet is $250, $100 and $350 and $150 in come bets, you're almost never down more than one full bullet and almost never up more than one full, unless you catch a good run, up more than a full bullet. You hover 50 up, 50 down, 100 up, 100 down. Maybe you catch a little run, it's fine. Comp play, totally cool. You can last the whole ship like this and earn it, right? And again, you're going to have some days where it's nothing but PSOs. All those PSOs that everybody else is bitching about, you're winning $100 every single time or more, right? Use that as leverage later on to play your right side stuff or get your odds or whatever you want to do. As it is for us today, a $50 loss is not the end of the world, right? For however many rolls we just did, 100 rolls or whatever that was, roll count wise. I'm going to get this back up on the table here, and we'll finish up our show here, and we'll just kind of talk through the end. Let's see. Let me get back to the right screen for y'all. All right, there we go. You see me again? Here comes the camera. All right. So again, not the greatest of outcomes there, right? But it was okay, and I think there's good conversation. Honestly, let's see. Before we get into this here, so Buckeye, the yo roll needs a comeback that its job and doesn't usually need the win to place 1 or 2 potentially. I like to do that place betting up there. Again, if the roll's going well, I'll do that. If I've already won 2 come bets, normally it's the second come bet that wins that triggers my place bet, not the first one. It's the second one, because in that case I have $100, right? I've taken $100. My 2 bets down plus 100. I would put $50 back in action. Lock up 50, play 50. I like to do it that way, especially if I still have a don't pass sitting there. If the don't pass is still sitting there, that potentially eats up all that stuff, right? That's my decision point. And that's just the way that I play it. You know what I'm saying? Rooting for the PSO. I'm not rooting for the PSO, right? This strategy plays in a way that if the PSO comes, you're going to be okay. If it doesn't come and you get your 3 come bet set, now you're a right side player. Then the don't pass becomes the enemy. Like I look at it as I'm switching sides. I'm going to go from early dark to later light. It's that middle zone where you buckshot the point and then have a come out 7 that you're danger zone for. But it's a switcher. The strategy is a switcher, and that's what I like about it. Let's see. Dan, do a split screen. One side is me, one side is the crapsy screen. They enter the numbers you throw. Somebody else can do this for sure, right? Somebody else can run crapsy for me, right? Like honestly, because here's we've never tried it like this, and I wonder if this would work, right? I wonder if it works because in real time you can't see what I'm doing, obviously, right? Because there's a delay, there's a whatever it is, the delay. Somebody could very easily run crapsy, right? In real time, where you're hearing it, right? So as I call the stuff out, you'll see it on screen. Somebody can run their own crapsy, and your timing would be along with mine. You just got to be fast. That's the thing. Is being quick with it is the hard part. Getting the timing right with crapsies is hard. And like I said, for me, this is not a community show. Like Jeff, when he does his midday rollouts, when Craig does his crapsy nights, when George does it, that's what they're doing it for. The reason for doing the rollout here is for me to practice making money, right? And I think it's just about the purpose of it, right? And I just, for whatever reason, I have this blind spot to it, and I'm not good at it, and I don't love it. And I bitch about it. Anyway, let's see. See what else is being said. Let me check for some questions. Are there any other questions? Let's do a little Q check. Whoop. A little Q check. Let's see. We're talking about. Oh, you know what? The margin holder pays more than the ATS, but the chances of hitting that are like 1 in a billion. It's like 0.0075%. It's like such a small percentage of hitting it. The other ones are better. The soldier's fun though. The soldier's a fun one to play, but yeah, it definitely not better than ATS. Dr. S a long time ago says, how do I determine when to quit? My stop loss is 0, right? I bring the bankroll I bring to play, right? It's there to do its job. I will stop before 0 because if I'm going down to 0, that means my day isn't very good and I'm getting pissed off, right? So bad attitude will take me off the table before low money will. Just the way that I do it. I feel like if I'm bringing 500 or 1,000 or whatever I'm bringing it as the way to win. It's the bankroll to support what I'm trying to do. And if I'm playing the horseman, I need, whatever, 5, 10x what I'm bringing to give it a few bullets. So I don't really have a stop loss. I have a win goal, but not a stop loss. And I think that if I had a stop loss, I'd bring less money. And I've always kind of preached that, right? And I think there's some people that say, well, if you lose all your money, Ed says this, right? If you lose all your money, it's a mental game. If your stop loss is 500 and you buy in for 500, you lose it all, you'd be pretty pissed off. If your stop loss is 500, you buy in for 1,000 and you lose 500, you walk away with some money, you don't feel quite so bad. You still lost the same amount of money. To me, it's all the same. So that's my personal. Let's see. You guys talking about more talk about the economy, it looks like. Let me go check for PC. Which is a way to kind of have this be a filter that I can just easily see it. Let's see. We've talked about all that stuff. The volume, that was from so long ago. Let's see. You missed the Friday show. Let's see. Force intent. These are old comments for sure. I don't see them all so much in real time. Let's see. Duracell is about the 25-second timer. And again, I did the timer thing and everybody hated it. Remember I did the timer and everybody was screaming at me because it took so long. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I can try that tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I don't care that much about Craftsy, to be honest with you. If it works out, it works out, I guess, right? Okay, so that's it for today. It's a little bit later than I hoped to be, but final thoughts are these. Again, if you're going to play for comps only, God be with you, right? You're gonna succumb to the house edge eventually if you do that. A lot of times those light in the darkness type things, you're playing not to win. The horseman plays the tie, but there's wins built into it. There's definite big wins and there's transition built into the thing. That's why I like it better than a typical hedge strategy. That's the reason why I like it better. And it does a good job, as you can see, of lasting. There's days where we just make our money quick. Sometimes the first shooter, you go, $200 in the dump, $50 in the come, and it's a PSO, and you make your 250 and you walk out, right? That happens sometimes. The other strategies don't really work that way, right? The other hedging strategies don't. They in that same situation, they make $6. So to me, I like it as a better attack on the early 7. So do what you're going to do, play to win. Main thing is this: whatever you're playing, make sure that it's profitable, right? I don't like playing strategies where my best outcome is a $6 or a $10 win. I just feel like that you're playing with fire there, right? You get one big loss, lose $100, winning that back $6 at a time will take you the whole cruise. So there it is. I'm going to work. I got a big day. We got a big day at Casino Quest. I'm uploading like 150 videos for Craps today, for the Craps player course. And then we've got a couple of big presentations to do. So yeah, Godspeed. Everybody have a great day. Love y'all. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Trendy Tuesday, which means I'm bringing out the roulette table. So we'll play some roulette tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye, all.